Hello there, and welcome to this Fast Track video. In this Fast Track video, we're going to be teaching you about audio equipment. Each video is going to be very different, and it's going to dive deep into specific audio equipment. In these training videos, we're going to show you who uses this particular audio equipment, why it's used, how to use it, as well as specific technical jargon that might confuse you or that you might not know about. So without further ado, let's jump into this training video and learn more about audio equipment.
Let us begin by asking, what is a microphone? A microphone is a device that simply converts sound into an electrical signal. Microphones can be traced back all the way to 1861 and come in various shapes and sizes. Microphones are also used for various applications, and there's a huge range of brands for microphones. That is it for what is a microphone. Let us get into this video and find out more about different types of microphones, what they're used for, their application, and what microphone might suit your application best. Let us have a look at who would use a microphone. People that would use a microphone but are not limited to using a microphone would include musicians, singers, engineers, Foley artists, radio hosts, voiceover artists, as well as presenters, just like I am in this video. That is it for who would use a microphone. Let us now move on to the next section of this video. Let us now have a look at where microphones can be used. Microphones can either be used and are not limited to studios, stage, outdoors, presentation environments, in meetings, in boardrooms, and in courtrooms. These are not the only environments microphones can be used, but this is where they are generally used. Let us now move on to the next section of this video. Let's have a look at the types of microphones. For this particular video, we'll mainly be focusing on dynamic and condenser microphones. Dynamic microphones use a diaphragm, a voice coil, and a magnet to pick up and convert sound waves into an electrical signal, whereas condenser microphones use an electrically charged diaphragm which is caused by vibrating sound waves. Dynamic microphones are generally handheld and more durable than condenser microphones. If you drop a dynamic microphone, you can simply pick it up and use it again. However, condenser microphones are more fragile, and if you drop it, the chances of it breaking are very high. I highly recommend you avoid dropping a condenser microphone. Dynamic microphones do not require any power. However, condenser microphones require 48 volts, or commonly known as phantom power. Both microphones need to be shielded to avoid popping sounds. Dynamic microphones mainly use windshields, whereas condenser microphones mainly use pop filters. This is how you would add a windshield onto a dynamic microphone. And this is how you would attach a pop filter to a condenser microphone. Both microphones utilize various pickup patterns, mainly hypercardioid, cardioid, figure 8, supercardioid, and omnidirectional. These are the most popular pickup patterns on commercial microphones. That is it for the types of microphones. Let us now move on to the next section of this video. I will now demonstrate how to connect a microphone using a dynamic microphone. Connecting a condenser microphone is very similar, however, the only difference, as mentioned earlier, would be a condenser microphone would require 48 volts of phantom power. Let us begin. I will start off by connecting the female XLR end into the male XLR end of the dynamic microphone. Once that is done, I will now connect the male XLR end of the cable into the female XLR end of the mixing console. And now I will have sound coming out of the mixing console from the microphone. As mentioned, this is the most simplest way to connect a microphone to a mixing console or even to an audio interface. However, depending on the type of microphone, you may be required to connect either a XLR female to the microphone and a TS 1/4 inch jack connected to a mixing console. This all depends on what mixing console or microphone you are using. However, they all follow a very similar process. That is it for how to connect a microphone. Let us now move on to the next section of this video. Now that we've gone over the differences between a dynamic and a condenser microphone, let's have a look at picking the correct microphone for specific applications. This is not a rule of thumb, however, it is a great suggestion. Let's begin with live. For live, I would recommend a dynamic microphone. This is to avoid feedback from onstage monitors as well as from onstage speakers. Also, for live application, if the microphone is dropped, a condenser microphone will have great feedback as well as will not be able to use for the rest of the performance. For studio vocals, a condenser microphone would be great, mainly a cardioid condenser microphone, as it picks up from the front. The singer will be able to reach certain frequencies in both the mid, the high, and the low range. For voiceovers, a dynamic microphone is great, as it picks up very nice tones and it's directed directly at the vocals. Here's a top tip for anyone that's also interested in doing rap vocals. Rap vocals also work very well on dynamic microphones, as rap is spoken word. Next up, for instrument recording, a condenser microphone is great for instruments such as acoustic guitars. A condenser microphone that has a figure 8 pattern is also ideal, as it'll pick up the room reverb and give the recording a more natural sound. If a user is recording a guitar amplifier, utilizing both a dynamic and condenser microphone is great for this application. Having the dynamic microphone pointed in front of the speaker, as well as the condenser microphone pointed in front of the speaker, gives for a nice rich tone, as it will utilize the capsules of both the condenser and dynamic microphone. For live drums in a band situation in a live environment, dynamic microphones are ideal, as once again, this will avoid feedback coming from audio monitors that are on stage. However, in a studio setup, using dynamic microphones, as well as using condenser pencil microphones for overheads, and a condenser microphone as a room mic for reverb, will give you a really great audio recording for your drums. Last but not least, for live and studio choirs, a nice combination to have would be dynamic and condenser microphones. However, the condensers need to be treated with extreme caution, once again to avoid feedback. Having microphones on the left of the choir, on the right of the choir, as well as on the center of the choir will be great, as it will give a nice overall sound of the lows and the highs and the main performers in the choir. Condenser microphones are also recommended to be very close to the choir, as to avoid once again the big topic and the hot topic feedback. That is it for choosing microphones for specific applications. Let us now move on to the next section of this video.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a lot and I hope you enjoyed it. If there was anything you didn't understand, feel free to drop me an email at the email address at the end of this video. Thank you once again for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Take care and bye-bye.